Molweni kuni nonke, gama lami uthando lwethu abanye beni bandazi ngo-Coffee Mac, utata wesizwe, and welcome to yet another installment of the TikTok Finds. I hope ngiyaphila apho, but nami ngiyaphila. Don't worry, my eyes are a bit runny because I have sinuses, and this is why I don't like summer. People keep saying, yeah, summer, summer, spring. Nah, dog. You can keep your summer, give us the winter, because you don't have to face these problems. But yeah, anyways, asizelanga londo apha. But it's a bit cold where I am. That's why I'm in a hoodie and I'm not wearing my Malfoy t-shirt. But yeah, it's a bit cold where I am. Yeah, but today we will be continuing our long form analysis of the 12 Dogs as Consequence of Sound album. Yes, which was dropped during COVID. And today we'll be talking about the song Thoughts and Prayers.
Welcome, Sanbonan.
Which follows the song Changes, where we had a 3-part episode where we kept analyzing and dissecting each verses from Luke, verses from Biko, as well as Justin. And I asked you to go and check out those episodes before you come to this one, and then maybe you'll be up to speed with what has been happening and what we're actually talking about. Oh yeah, and anyways, on TikTok, I don't know if you're privy to this, but on TikTok I have opened another branch of TikTok Finds where I just share a short summary of the artists that I've been listening to as well, because I am continuing to listen to music even though I'm doing this long form analysis. But the main objective of this channel was for me to keep showing new artists that I keep discovering, or rather finding, on social media, because now it has also branched out beyond TikTok, right? Because I also go on Instagram and I find other artists. So you better check out our first episode of Finders Bites, which has dropped on TikTok, where I share my sentiments on Shocker Sunflower, right? Okay, so yeah. Anyways, let us go into Thoughts and Prayers. Thoughts and Prayers was produced by Luke 45, and that's according to metadata. I don't know how accurate that is, but I believe if it's 12 Dogs that actually gave out that information, then I do believe that it was produced by Luke 45, because most of them play guitars and they do those things. 12 Dogs is a very hands-on band or group, right? So a lot of them either produce, some of them can produce, some of them, you see. So either, if it was AI, I'm guessing because on Changes they had said Luke 45 is the one that produced Change, then maybe it's carrying off of that. But if it was 12 Dogs that actually produced that information, then I believe it. So let's go into Thoughts and Prayers. So in Change, we ended off with Tabi's verse, where Tabi was saying that wondering what you can do, or what you can choose, or what you can do, right? And then he closed it off with a very sad and melancholic tone, where he was saying there still won't be any change, right? There still won't be any change. You might try to do this, you might try to do that, there won't be any change. So his view was quite pessimistic, because from the beginning they came in with the fighting energy, trying to incite change, trying to fight for change, showing us the societal issues that we keep facing here in South Africa, right? But now Tabi closes it off with someone who's a bit defeated, they've tried everything that they could, but in the end they can just see that the system is what it is, right? And then so we'll go into this verse. I believe Justin is the one who's opening. Well, it's Biko Mac, because it says welcome Sanbonan Yabo. Yeah, so Biko Mac opens Thoughts and Prayers by saying welcome Sanbonan. Also is greeting people, yo, come in, come in, hi. And then Justin then opens the verse by saying,
another day, another trip, another record, another flip. Brother, we've been seeing hard times, but I utter blessings from my lip. Messages from the above, raising my phone just to catch a white dove. Razor sharp fader ways, right through the east just to shoot out the blaze. Right through the plains, killer cops holding the K. Killer verse, but I go dinner first with my mother.
Another day, another trip, another record, another flip. Brother, we've been seeing hard times, but I utter blessings from my lip. Right? Messages from above, raising my phone just to catch a white dove. Okay, so let's start with that. Right, let us start with that. Another day, another trip, another record, another flip. I mean, I just think that is self-explanatory. We don't have to go into that. Justin is saying that a new day brings about new challenges, but it also brings about new adventures, right? Another day, another trip. Another trip. So the trip could also mean like another trip, adventure, but also trip. I don't know. But yeah, I think another day, another trip. Yabo, a new day brings along new challenges and an adventure, right? Another record, another flip. So they are musicians. So they made the song. Now a new day also brings about a new idea for a new song, right? Brother, we be seeing hard times, but I utter blessings from my lip, right? So he's excuse me. So now we are well aware of what's actually going on because they've been saying it from tomorrow, the intro to oh yeah, they said it on tomorrow. They said it on tomorrow. They said it on change. So now we're well aware of what's going on. There's a negative tone. There are things that are happening, right? So Justin is further emphasizing that we are seeing hard times, but he utters blessings from his lips, right? So even though like things are hard and things are tough, he continues to keep a positive perspective of life, and he continues to be grateful for the little things that are there in life, right? Prayers, right? Prayers, thoughts and prayers. So now we're saying when he says he utters blessings from his lips, those are prayers. Obviously, when you maybe like you pray, oh God, and then God keeps blessing you, right? He utters blessings. So it could be blessings. So basically prayers, right? Yeah. Remain positive, niggas. Yeah. And then he says, messages from above, raising my phone just to catch a white dove, right? So messages from above, as Justin had said on Change, that he believes that he was sent here to speak a message or to spark a light, right? The son of sunset is here to spark a movement. And as we had explained in the previous videos, that Justin also quoted other people who also referenced rather other people who were struggle stalwarts or people who fought against a system like Rasputin as well as Jesus. As I did say that the son of sunset, he is calm, right? He's here to spark a movement. Jesus was also like that. He then sparked a movement that, like the biggest movement I'd say, because like Christianity is one of the biggest religions that we have, right? So Justin believed that. So him saying he catches a white dove, I then actually checked what could a white dove actually symbolize, and by him saying that he caught a white dove via his phone, right? So my research found that a dove in spirituality is a sign of peace, hope, and new beginnings, right? And it's also a sign of tranquility, spiritual growth, and it signifies love, right? And according to the internet as well, I actually knew this, but I actually forgot about it, but it was also associated to Noah during the time of the floods, where he sent out a dove, and the dove would always come back because it didn't find a place to rest, because the land was still overfilled with water, right? It was still flooded. So it couldn't, then it kept going, and then it came back, and then, this one time it then came back with an olive branch, right? Came back with an olive branch. Yeah. So, and also doves were also associated with Jesus's baptizing. Apparently, after Jesus was baptized, it is seen as the Holy Spirit or the presence of good energy or God, right? Because after Jesus was baptized, then a dove rather than appeared, right? So Matthew chapter 3 verse 16 to 17 says that the Holy Spirit descended on Jesus like a dove, right? And then in Genesis 8, it talks about the story of Noah where a dove went out and then came back, right? And then they also referenced, on the internet, they said, since they also linked the two things, like Noah, since the dove couldn't find a place to rest on the earth, then they also made similarities between how the Spirit or the Holy Spirit or God was hovering over the earth, and he couldn't find a place to settle or to rest, right? Yeah. And also him saying that, oh, I also did say here that dove is also a symbol that Justin is on the right path, and he is chosen by those before him, right? Because he is walking on a tough journey. He's seeing tough things, but he's still able to receive those blessings, right? Because he utters blessings from his lips. Therefore, he sees white doves. He sees these spirits. So he knows that he's on the right path. And then I also said that with the use of a cell phone to catch a dove, that also shows the modern day or the change in technological advancements. Yeah, but then I rather said that he is a modern day Jesus. The inclusion of a cell phone shows technological advancements, right? And that these people are a youth that are currently living in the 21st century who have cell phones and are able to catch white doves. And also, seeing a white dove apparently is an anomaly, if I can put it like that. It's not something that happens all the time. I also haven't seen like a white dove in a while, unless they are bought for a funeral or there's something. But just seeing them, that's very rare. That is very rare. So for him to see a white dove, that's a great sign, right? Yeah. And also I did say that him saying that we've been seeing hard times but are other blessings from my lip is also a sign of the resilience of the South African person, right? Because things are tough, things are hard, but we still remain positive, and we still live to see the next day, and we still live to see what the next day may bring, right? So here Justin is still talking about the issues and the things that maybe he might be experiencing, but he also continues to keep a positive perspective, right? And then he says, oh, I think this is my favorite part from him, and then he says, razor sharp fadeaways right through the east just to shoot up the place, right through the plains, killer cops holding the K. Razor sharp fadeaways. So then I checked, what are fadeaways, right? So what are fadeaways? Razor sharp fadeaways. So then apparently, according to the internet and my sources, right, a fadeaway refers to a basketball move where an attacker evades a defender, right? Like that step they take back, like boom, and then right, and then you shoot. So razor sharp fadeaways right through the east just to shoot up the place. So that's a double entendre. I even wrote that here, which this is a double entendre because razor sharp fadeaways, right? Basketball shooting, but also it could refer to a literal shooting because they've been speaking about police violence, gun violence, right? And then he also says right through the plains, killer cops holding the K. You understand? Literally shooting, but also like basketball shooting. So he's using basketball analogy to showcase the gun violence that is around in the East. And as we had mentioned in the first episode, that 12 Dogs did say that they met in school, right? So they keep referencing the East, so which I believe is the east of Johannesburg. Yeah, the east of Johannesburg, Edenville site. Yeah, I tried to do my research, but yeah, those sites, because SC23 is from Sandringham, right? So I do believe maybe they met around those areas, and right through the plains. So I then checked what are plains, right? Plains are like flat land, like just greenery. If you check it online, it's just greenery, flat land. So to me, when I saw that right through the plains, that gave me images of like a war or battles happening, because battles usually happen in plains where there aren't any houses or there isn't anything like that. So right through the plains, killer cops holding the K. And then I checked what the K is, because I don't think it could be an AK. I think he was just gonna say Wusi AK if it wasn't an AK. So at first what I found was a K refers to the Vickers K, a light machine gun developed for aircraft but used by British commands and essays during the Second World War, of which in change he actually referenced the fact that in 1945 water is dropping nukes like Harry Truman, right? And Harry Truman was involved in the Second World War, right? So now we see the ties, and we see the continuation of a theme of police violence, gun violence on people, and how cops are continuing to, threaten the lives of the citizens type thing. But I then found again that he could be referring to a Daewoo K2 rifle used by South Korean military precision, which I believe here is the more more suitable for this scenario, because he says, oh sorry,
oh my god, bro,
because he says killer cops are holding a K in the city, right? So obviously you need something that can fit in your hand. So I do think that a K2 Daewoo K2 rifle used by South Korean military precision is the one that is more suitable for the scenario, right? Yeah. Then he says,
through the plains, killer cops holding a K. Killer verse, but I go dinner first with my mother just to talk about life. After the hearse, after she passed, I got my foot on the gas, I got my hand in the back. I choose the day that I might say, Mama, I wish that you could've just stayed. But another day, another trip. A blue sky, it's a gift. Who am I? What is this? Another lesson I'm remiss. Another lesson I'm remiss. Play this album for my kids. Tell them here who that is. Tell them this what dad did.
Killer verse, but I go to dinner first with my mother just to talk about life after the hearse, after she passed, right? I got my foot on the gas, I got my hand on her back. I dread the day that I might say, Mama, I wish you could have just stayed. Ish. Bruh. I don't know, but here, like, Justin was quite literal with this. But I do think that before doing something heinous, he just does something sweet, like how gangsters move, bro. Like, before going to kill some, how in movies, like, that huge mafia boss or something will go and hang out with their daughter at the park, and then after that do some crazy things. Like in Breaking Bad, Mike would literally hang out with his granddaughter, and it would be like he's not that guy, but later on just go and do something heinous. So I think he's also embodying that energy, or he's trying to show that there are probably two sides to him. Yeah, well, there's the Justin that his mom's knows, and then there's the Justin that we know, who kills a verse, like who does the most. Yeah, well, and then they just talk about life. They talk about life after the hearse, after she passed, right? Yeah. So I got my foot on the gas, I got my hand on her back, right? I dread the day that I might say, Mama, I just wish you could have stayed, right? So at first, my first thought was, when I heard this, right, when I analyzed this first, I was like, okay, so Justin's not going into detail as to, like, how did that conversation go about him and his mom's, maybe like that when that day comes, what's gonna happen to his mom. So at first I was like, he's probably avoiding that topic, or he's not trying to get too emotional on this verse, right? So what he just does is, I got my foot on the gas, I got my hand on her back, right? So I probably thought, okay, like, I got my hand on her back, yeah, but I got my foot on the gas, like, you understand, like full throttle, yeah, but so I thought here he's running away from going into too much detail about the mom's passing, right? And then he says he's numbing himself with the sex, and that was motivation for him to go hard. Excuse the pun. But that's what I thought, right? But then when I recalculated it, I thought, okay, because I've got my hand on her back, I got my foot on the gas, so, I dread the day that I might say, Mama, I just wish you could have stayed. Yeah, but so for him to like forget about that, or to stop thinking about that, he then finds a woman where he just, inebriates himself and just relaxes and lets go of all those sad emotions and just, does his thing. But on second thought, I got my foot on the gas simply refers to when someone is like going at it, like the car's accelerating, when they have their foot on the accelerator and it's speeding at a high rate, right? And then I got my hand on her back. So now I'm thinking that moms might be worried, like as I said here, moms might be worried that he is living too fast, right? Because our parents tend to get worried about the lives that we might be living as young people, like who are doing this, we like maybe are all over the place, or so she probably doesn't want him to get caught up in the wrong thing, or yeah, but because she feels like he's riding too hard or he's going too hard, maybe for his career or whatever it is. You understand? So his hand, so I then said that his hand on her back is like him giving her assurance that don't worry, mom, I got it, you're safe with me. Or right after dinner, because after dinner they then leave that place, right, and then they continue with their conversations. Yeah, but so it makes sense to say that now they from dinner they're riding home, and then he's gonna go and kill a verse, right? They're riding home, so he's got his foot on the gas, and mom's is probably worried, hey bruh, you're driving too fast, type thing. Yeah, but even with life, because they talked about life, right? Then his hand on her back is him reassuring her that don't worry, I got it, I'm okay, right? Yeah. Yeah, and also when he says, I dread the day that I might say, Mama, I wish you could have just stayed. He's not ready to lose his mom, right? He's not ready to lose his mom because his mom is his source of wisdom. And she is, man. Hey, what am I saying now? Yeah, he's not ready to lose his mom because his mom is his source of wisdom. And she is his parent, right? She is his parent. So obviously it's not nice ukulahlekelwa umzali, and I believe on this journey that he is on, he needs a lot of counseling, and he probably needs someone who is in his corner. Like, we know our friends are in our corner most of the time, but when you have your parents, you know that they give you unconditional love and unconditional support. Understand? And that's one of the things that's like the biggest factor you need, like, to just go forward, right? So before killing a verse, he gets his strength, like Kanye type thing. Yeah, like Kanye. Yeah, this is a good example. Like Kanye, when Kanye would make his music and then show it to his mom, like, yo, moms, listen, right? And then, yeah, but after his mom's passed, a lot of things started going left, started spiraling, started, but yeah, we're not gonna go into that. But anyways, that's what I'm saying, right? So in this instance, Justin believes he is here for a purpose, and his mom is like an anchor in this world that is moving too fast. You understand? And if we also look at this verse, Justin is actually telling us his thoughts and his prayers, because I dread the day I might say, I wish you could have stayed. Right? He is not ready for that day. No one can ever be prepared to lose their parent, dog. I don't care if you are like 50 or 60, bruh. No one's ever prepared. But you just say, if maybe you are 40 or 50, you just say, I'm dala. You understand? Like, that's cool. It's alright. Yeah, they had to leave. But I dread the day. Imagine like losing your parent at such a young age. That I don't wish that upon anyone. And it's such a painful thing, dog. Like, I can only imagine, right? Like that would turn anyone's world upside down, right? So, but another day, another trip, a blue sky, it's a gift. Who am I? What is this? Another lesson, I'm remiss. Another lesson, I'm remiss. So here we see Justin calculating his thoughts. Basically, he's telling us his thoughts, not even calculating. He's just telling us his thoughts and his prayers. He doesn't want to lose his mom. He's not ready to lose his mom. He catches a white dove, meaning that clearly he's on the right path with this music thing, with this message that he's giving out. Those that are watching him, so he then says, I dread the day I might say, Mama, I wish that you could have stayed. So he's scared to lose his mom. He can see that he's on the right path with the music thing, right? Thoughts and prayers, right? So and he's just telling the story of what's actually going on in the east of Johannesburg. Like, razor sharp fadeaways, right? Razor sharp fadeaways. What did I see here? Justin is quick on his feet. Razor sharp fadeaways, because you must be quick on your feet. Yabo? Meaning, like, razor sharp fadeaways, you must be quick on your feet. You understand? So yeah, those are his thoughts and those are his prayers. So Justin then says, but another day, another trip, a blue sky, it's a gift. Who am I? What is this? Another lesson, I'm remiss. Another lesson, I'm remiss. So now this shows us that that day has come to an end, bringing this verse to full circle, because now it's a new day, right? That day has ended, but now it's a new day. A new day brings about a new challenge. He started that verse with another day, another trip, another record, another flip. But now he says a blue sky is a gift. Continuing off of that, we've been seeing hard times, but I utter blessings from my lips. So he's just grateful to be alive and to see nature, right? Like he's waking up, he sees a blue sky, and he's like, oh, that's beautiful. It's a gift, because he's still alive and he's still able to just experience those free things in life, being with his friends, making music, going on these trips, another day, another trip, right? So he's uttering those blessings and he's feeling those blessings, because that's what life is. That's why they say the best things in life are free, right? And then he says, another lesson, I'm remiss. Another lesson, I'm remiss, right? So the past day brought challenges and taught him a lesson, but he missed it because I'm remiss. And this new day is teaching him something, but he's not paying attention, right? He might not be paying attention, or the message is moving too fast for him to catch it. He's gonna catch it later on. You understand? Then he says that, and then I said that's why he asks, who am I? What is this? What is the purpose of life? What is the main reason we're living? He's asking philosophical questions like, what is the main purpose of our existence, right? To be or not to be? Right? To be or not to be. So now he is trying to figure out who he is. Thoughts, another lesson I'm remiss. Who am I? What is this, right? What is this life that we're living? What are these systems? Because they do say that the only way you can find the truth is by questioning things and not just believing things, right? So he's trying to know, why do I act like this? Who am I? Who am I, mean myself, without all of these conditionings that I went through, these lessons and all of those things, right? So thoughts and prayers. So we're still in line and within the theme, right? Play this album for my kids. Tell them here who this is. Tell them here who that is. Tell him this is what dad did, right? He's thinking about the future. Another thought. He's still continuing on the theme of thoughts and prayers. And he's asking, play this album for my kids. If he doesn't reach a stage where he's able to play the album for his kids and tell them to listen to what your dad did, or listen, this is what your dad made, right? He's just praying that someone else is then going to play this album for his kids. You understand? And then Tabi, I think it's Tabi, comes in with the, I would say, a vocal where he says, I see you there with your little coffee table and your record player. Play it. You've never heard anything like this, boy. Yeah, well, so speaking like the father, right? So exactly what I'm saying, that maybe by the time that they're going to play this album for Justin's kids, Justin will not be alive to see that or to experience that. So now Tabi, I would say him saying that, I see you with your little coffee table there, play this record, you've never heard nothing like this, boy. He's embodying an uncle who has now taken up the role of being a father. I don't know if it's like, sometimes the voices confuse me. And also on Genius, there weren't any annotations saying that, no, this verse was by Mang Mang and this verse was by Mang Mang. So if I get the names mixed up, I really apologize for that. Yeah, I really, really do apologize for that. I see you there with your little coffee table and your record player. Play. You've never heard anything like this, boy. Right? So for the mere fact that Justin is alive now, but he's not the one that's saying those words like, play this record. Another person is saying that. So that thing of the uncle, right? And then we go into the next verse. And the next verse doesn't have like a chorus in between. So it's just a continuum. So it's like they were just expressing their thoughts and their prayers here. All right, said I need some bar, and then we have Tabi coming in, and then he says,
said I need some bars, nigga 16, and I need some drugs, nigga MD, and I need some baddies and some loud weed, cause if it ain't, then your function ain't seeing me. Afghanistan, I get my weed straight from the east, like Pakistan, the way these niggas
bars,
take
nigga
shots.
16. and I need some drugs, nigga, MD, right? And I need some baddies with some loud weed. Cause if it ain't, then your function ain't seeing me. Yeah, bro. So I would say these are literally just youthful thoughts. Like these are just young thoughts. Like these are the thoughts of a young nigga, dog. Like, I need some bars 16. So he's thinking about raps. He's thinking about his raps. Need some bars, nigga. 16 bars. 16 bar. But what else? Yeah. Need some bars. But it could also mean like bars, a bar where you go and drink. Yeah, about alcohol. 16 bars or 16 bars, uyabhala, you understand? And I need some drugs, MD, which is Molly or ecstasy, yeah, but so we can see with, okay. And also production wise, right? Production wise, it came in with a bang. When Tabi was coming in, it came in with a bang. This was like a boom, boom. Said I need some bar, nigga, 16, boom. And I need some drugs, nigga, MD, boom. And some better with some loud weed. Cause if it ain't, then your function ain't still me. Right? So it was like boom, boom. So it was coming with that energy. So we can see he has loud thoughts. He has youthful thoughts. Like rage thoughts. Like, you know how young people are, bruh. Right? Yeah. Cause if it ain't, then your function ain't seeing me. You understand? Those are just some youthful thoughts. If you don't have these things, then I'm not there. This is a prerequisite. Yeah, but if you don't have these things in your party, then I'm not there, right? Yeah. And then he says, Afghanistan, I got my weed straight from the east. Like Pakistan, these niggas taking shots at me. Oh! Bro, this dog. These lines literally made me like write 2 pages, bro. Wait, let me show you. Like 2 to 3 pages, dog. I almost filled out 3 pages. But yeah, let's get into it. So as I did say also in Justin's verse, that the 12 dogs did mention that they met in school, Johannesburg, right? And then they decided to do this music thing together. Yabo? Tabi is saying he gets his weed from the east. From the middle. I get my weed straight from the east. So I then checked where Afghanistan is, right? And it is usually said to be in the Middle East, right? So if he says, I got my weed straight from the Afghanistan, I got my weed straight from the east, Middle East. So the Middle East of Johannesburg. And then I then checked where's that. So it then showed places like Edenvale, Benoni, But I thought Edenvale was probably the closest one because SC23 is from Sandringham, as I had mentioned. Yeah, as I had mentioned, right? But now I think they live in like the CBD. I'm not sure where they live. I don't know where they live. But yeah, most of the time they're performing there around Jersey, right? So yeah, now we're getting into it for real, right? So according to Bruce Riddle, who is a journalist or something, but I read his article, right? So it says, in the 1980s, the CIA engineered the largest covert operation in its history to defeat the Soviet army in Afghanistan, right? Operating from a safe haven in Pakistan. So he's like Pakistan, these niggas taking shots at me, right? And it is said that Pakistan is in the southwest of Asia, right? It's in the east of what's this? It's at the east of Afghanistan, and I think is it at the west? Yeah, Afghanistan is west of Pakistan, right? But Pakistan is east of Afghanistan, right? So there's actually a tiff. I knew that when he said Afghanistan, I got my weed straight from the east. Pakistan, the way these niggas taking shots at me, right? So I then thought, okay, are Pakistan and Afghanistan clashing? Then I went and checked, right? So apparently, you know about the Taliban and all of those things. So in the 1980s, the CIA engineered the largest covert operation in its history to defeat the Soviet army in Afghanistan, right? operating from a safe haven in Pakistan. Pakistan was the base for the Saudi-American alliance behind Mujahideen. Right? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Soviet invasion in 1979 was an attempt to impose a communist regime and create a satellite state, right? Like all the other states where they say that independence, but then they know that they're the ones who are ruling over them, right? So apparently Taliban then ran away, and then they found a place to hide in Pakistan, and then they became allies and all of those things, right? But not necessarily allies, but that's where they found exile, right? And they stayed there, right? And this is just crazy to me. So Pakistan serves as the major logistical supply line for the NATO. The NATO, which is like some countries who come together. My mom said it's like a stockpile for guns, right? Stockpile for weapons. Basically, all of these countries come together, and then they weapons, and then if ever that one country goes to war, and then they'll support that other country. Yeah, but read up on this. I'll put the link in the description below, and then you guys can check out that article. So Pakistan serves as the major logistical supply line for the NATO, which was fighting against the Soviets. And then also the Taliban also received their things from Pakistan. So Pakistan was like, the middleman, the one that was supplying, like everything went through them. So it's more like they were in a sweet spot of sorts, right? So apparently, like late December 2024, 2023, right? 2023, Pakistan police began arresting senior Afghan Taliban leaders, and apparently there was a bit of unrest in Pakistan from other Taliban members, because now in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, Taliban had then gained control of Afghanistan, right? So now Pakistan was saying that there's a bit of unrest and insurgents, if I'm not mistaken, that's causing all of these things, right? Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which was established in 2007, right? So now there are border conflicts. TTP has intensified attacks, causing casualties among Pakistani soldiers and cops, right? Border conflicts between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now there are border conflicts between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So Tabi is basically saying these niggas are taking shots at him in rap, right? People are hating on him, taking shots at him, like he is Pakistan, Taliban, Pakistan. So Pakistan, the way these niggas taking shots at me. So Tabi is not just highlighting the fact that he's got haters, but he's also highlighting that there are actually border wars that are going on outside our country, right? Like, he's slick, bro. Slick, very slick. Very slick. Because obviously if he says, I got my weed straight from the East, Afghanistan, and then Pakistan, why don't you just say I got my weed straight from the East of Joburg, right? Yeah. So they're conscientizing people on what's actually going on. They're conscientizing people on what's actually going on out there, right? There are rising tensions, yes. And he is continuing, as I had said, that I actually like how 12 Dogs writes these verses, or how they, like, there's synergy between them, right? Maybe they don't even say, okay, if I'm gonna write this, maybe you're gonna add like that, or whatever. Maybe there's just that thing, you understand? And here we can see that he is continuing off the same theme or motif of war that Justin had already started in the first verse, in the opening verse, where he was saying, ride through the plains just to shoot up the place in the east, right? And killer cops are holding K's. Right through the place. And according to Bruce, NATO and Taliban, as I had said, use Pakistan as their logistical supply line for these weaponaries. So right through the east just to shoot up the place. So your weapons go through us, We give you your weapons, you are able to receive your weapons because of us, and then you are the same people who then shoot at us.
Bruh.
You understand? And also, if you think about it, like if you look at, like if you watch the news and you just check those places that these people be fighting in, it's just land, bruh, and it's dust, guns, war, just war on war on war. You understand? I don't know if now that those border wars between Pakistan and what do you call this, and Afghanistan are still continuing. But yeah, that's what Tug was highlighting. Tug was basically highlighting that he has haters, but he was also shedding light on the border wars that are actually going on in Pakistan and Afghanistan. All right, and then he says,
These niggas taking shots at me. I ain't a rebel, I'm an advocate for people peace. But if you wanna play, then you and Jesus finna meet. Another day, another doobie. Niggas treat me like I'm stupid. My life be looking like a movie. Bow and arrow like I'm Cupid. Yeah, she love me, it's confusing. And she don't know how I do it. But she thinking I'm the coolest.
I ain't a rebel, I'm an advocate for people peace. But if you wanna play, then you and Jesus finna meet. Another day, another doobie. Niggas treat me like I'm stupid. My life be looking like a movie. Bruh. The Son of Sunsets is here to spark a movement. But he is different. Like, you know, he came with a different energy to what Justin was. Like, yeah, Justin was speaking with some, you understand? But you could tell he's like, you understand? But he's like, he advocates for peace. But if you want to get into the mud, we'll go into the mud. We'll go lower. Like, if you want to go into war, we'll go into war. Just like how, I heard this from somewhere. Just like how some, like, you can't be a freedom fighter and not carry a gun, bro. What? That's why they say, what are you doing with a knife? Why do you bring a knife to a gunfight? You understand? If your enemy is fighting with the gun, fight with the gun, type thing. Yeah, well, yeah. And I'm not promoting violence on here. We're not promoting violence on here, but we are simply just reciting lyrics and giving context and examples. Yeah, well, don't use guns, don't use knives, don't fight. Peace. We are fighting for peace here. Yeah. Understand? Another day, another doobie. Niggas treat me like I'm stupid. My life be looking like a movie. Another day, another doobie. I do believe that doobie is referencing a joint, a marijuana joint. So another day, another doobie. He wakes up in the morning, goes out for a smoke, morning glory type thing. And niggas like treating him like he's stupid when he's not stupid. My life be looking like a movie. So obviously, when your life's looking like a movie, after expressing the fact that he gets his weed out in the east, and then saying that niggas be taking shots at him like Pakistan, we then now start understanding what, okay, bro is fighting. Like, bro's life is like an action movie. He has to duck shots full of drama, police violence. As a youth facing unemployment, like, has to speak on unemployment, having your voice silenced on the internet, the algorithm, and all of those things. His life is looking like a movie. Another day, another doobie. He has to deal with people who think that he is stupid, right? So, bow and arrow like I'm Cupid. Yes, she loves me. It's confusing. Oh, yeah. Bow and arrow like I'm Cupid. Yes, she loves me. It's confusing. And she don't know how I do it. But she thinking I'm the coolest. I'm the dopest. I'm the newest. And you a bitch. Like, as I was about to say, that every protagonist in a movie, every protagonist, be it an action movie, comedy, or rom, or whatever, but in an action movie, almost every protagonist has a love interest. In most of the movies that I watch, most of them always have a female that they like. You know how even with James Bond was like a player nyana. So in this verse, I use James Bond exactly because James Bond wasn't someone who was like bah and then settled down. No, it's like bah on the move, bah on the move. He's always meeting different women in different places. You understand? So bow and arrow like I'm Cupid. Yes, she loves me. It's confusing. So Cupid refers to the love angel or that love god, the one that's usually used to. Yeah. So yeah, she loves me, it's confusing. So Tubby doesn't use, from this, what I'm getting is that Tubby doesn't usually engage in serious or committed relationships, or relationships that require exclusivity, or yeah, but so now when she claims that she loves him, he doesn't know if he should maybe, like, maybe he wasn't even intending on like staying that long or staying the course, but now because he's this cool guy, he's this dope guy, and she's found something to like about him, now he's confused if he should break her feelings, he should break her heart, or he should, disappoint her. Yeah, but so he doesn't know if, and so from what I'm getting from here is that he doesn't know if he should continue the relationship or just continue to keep things casual. Yeah, but this, I also did say that this explores young love and relationships somewhat. Some want commitment and some don't, because in like youth, with the youth, right? Some people want like serious stuff, and someone was just like, yo, I'm here for a fun time, yeah, but not a long time. You understand? So this also explores the relationships that actually happen in the youth, like things that happen with the youth, how some people want commitment, some don't want commitment. So now he's confused, but he knows why. He knows why she likes him, because he's a cool guy, he's a dope guy. And then he says, I'm the newest to a bitch. I just think that was bravado. I don't think there was anything to that. Like, it's just, how guys are, bro. Like, especially in hip-hop, like, I'm that dude, bro. All you niggas is below me, all you niggas is my sons. You understand? So yeah, I just think that was bravado. And then he's like,
And she don't know how to do it, but she thinking I'm the coolest. I'm the dopest, I'm the newest. You a bitch, I'm a heavyweight. I was hungry, now a nigga ate. All these stacks like a figure eight. Now a bad bitch want a dinner date. Money coming in, I'm feeling great. Raps got it feeling different ways. I ain't never had a gold chain like Olympics, now I'm in first place.
I'm a heavyweight. I was hungry, now a nigga ate. Right? So he's a heavyweight, meaning he has to eat a lot. Like, he has to, because he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight also in life and in this rap game. That's why niggas are taking shots at him, because he's a threat. Niggas are taking shots at him because he's a threat. Right? And he's a heavyweight. And also, smoking doobies gives you an appetite. Yeah. Yeah. So, in a metaphorical sense, he's a heavyweight in this rap game. He's a heavyweight in this rap game. He was hungry, now he ate. Like, now he's eating. Gakulu. All these stacks like a figure 8. Bruh. All these stacks like a figure 8. Now a bad bitch want a dinner date. Ooh. Money coming in. I'm feeling great. Rap's got her feeling different ways. I never had a gold chain like Olympics, now I'm in first place. Hey, Baba. Dog. I was a heavyweight. I was hungry, now a nigga ate. All these stacks like a figure 8. What is a figure 8? A figure 8 is a knot. Apparently, it's a knot that is used for like rope climbing. So I then checked what is figure 8. So it's a knot that is used for rope climbing. Yeah, bro? Yeah, so it's used for rock climbing, figure 8, but like it's bulky, bro. Like, so when they do this, these ropes become stacked on each other, but also stacks of cash, right? Like a figure 8, but also stacks, figure 8 figures. So he's saying that his stacks are a lot. They are synonymous to 8 figures. Either he has 8 figures or they're synonymous to 8. Yeah, he has 8 figures, right? Yeah, all these stacks like a figure 8. Now a bad bitch when I didn't date, right? Yeah, bruh, and also dog. You know how when Kendrick Lamar was like 7 figures whole, that's slimmer than my bitch's waist. This is what Tubby's doing. He says all of these stacks like a figure 8. Now a bad bitch on a dinner date. And now he's also showing us why this girl was like, yo, bro, like, I'm in love with you. Because now he's like Cupid himself. He makes people fall in love with him. He's a dope nigga. And we are bitches. Nah, I'm not. But you get what I mean. Right now, a bad bitch on a dinner date. Figure 8, dog. Figure, yentombazana. Bruh. You understand how late this line is, dog. There are so many ways you can break it down. There are so many ways in which you can break it down. And it's cohesive. It's cohesive, right? All these decks like a figure 8. Now, a bad bitch on a dinner date. And most of the time, what do we relate? Like, what's the body type for baddies? We must say like baddies are, yeah, boy, snatched waist, yeah, boy, voluptuous, nice, yeah, boy, a bad B, dog. Like, when you think of a baddie, what comes to mind? You understand? You understand? So, I never had a gold chain like Olympics. Now I'm in first place. He didn't have it at first. He didn't have it at first. Also heavyweight. Can you hear the sport references, dog? Rock climbing, heavyweight, boxing or UFC or whatever. He was hungry. Now he's eating. Now the bad bitches want a dinner date with him. All these stacks like a figure 8. I never had a gold chain like Olympics. Now I'm in first place. He's got all the chains, nigga. He's got that gold on him now because he's got money. And then the verse then goes to Biko Mac, which we will discuss next week. Yeah, and part two. This definitely deserves a part 2. But thank you for tuning in. And this is the end of our episode. This is the end. Oh, bro, I'm so sad that we've reached the end because there's so much to discuss. But also, look, I was so shocked. Like, I was like, whoa, actually, when he wrote this, right? So yeah, that was, bruh, that Afghanistan line and that Pakistan line was just crazy. I think this has got to be my highlight. Afghanistan, I get my way straight from the east. Like Pakistan, these niggas taking shots at me. Also, it was that loud. That weed must be loud, bro. Because he said if you don't have loud weed, he's not coming to your function. So obviously, if it's from Afghanistan, bro, it must really bang. Like it must really hit, dog. Like it must be the one. So I'm guessing that the east side of Joburg produces fire weed, right? So yeah, and that's it from us. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. We will catch you on the next one, and be sure to, yeah, man, just watch my new content, and yeah, more videos coming soon. Peace and love.